Thank you, Lord, for a beautiful day and the coolness that comes with the rain. Let's see if I can get some of the limp out of my video. Image stabilization is on, but it doesn't cover for a limp. I keep noticing my videos have a boink, boink, boink. One direction. Oh, she's got to check out smells. Oh. To be incredibly grateful for what we have. It's a major step, milestone, especially in this world we're dealing with right now. People trying to generate a lot of hate and rage and fear. Fear is a huge thing. They drive the anger and rage with fear. Fear of this, that, and the other thing. Are you making it, Miss Lady? You're the star of the show, you gotta lead once in a while. So I've taken an interest in a couple Reiki people, certified Reiki masters. I don't know what it takes to get to that, so I'll just say Reiki people. One is Oa. Beautiful. I'm guessing indigenous, but I don't know. I love her when she's sitting with her black dog next to the water. So beautiful. Then there's Michael from Australia. He's very cool. Anyway, I was watching Michael from Australia the other day. And it was trying to get rid of negative things out of our system. And I had kind of a vision because our first episode was on grudges, and that's the biggest thing in this world to somehow find a way through and past. And I was meditating on that, about dealing with the grudges, because we have so many from childhood. Little grudges that make certain behaviors in us stick. So I was definitely meditating to rid myself of those, but I saw a mental image. It was interesting. Think of skin and hair on skin. All the hair is curly, and those curls hang on to each one of those grudges. A new grudge will pop up, and new hair pops up and hangs on to that grudge. And that way the skin can always go back, figure out what grudge produced what behavior. So here's the thing. Somebody pulls out in front of you in traffic. That brings a gut reaction out in you. We're trying to get to the point where we don't let it bother us, but every once in a while, fingers under the chin moment. The Italian flip off. But then that sets up other reactions for the day and future. You see that same car again, and you think the same thing. And how do we keep from letting it become a grudge? Where, they did this, I'm going to hang on to that. That means I can do this, or I feel right in doing this, or something of that nature. For me, grudges were a huge thing to get over. Maybe not so rough for other people. I don't know. Maybe other people it's not an issue, but for me, I started realizing how many of them from childhood through, the current day. Any quartz in there today? The ants are really good at digging up quartz. That's one piece. Oh, a couple. Oh, perfect. A couple round ones and a broken one. Oh. No. That wasn't one. I don't know, I picked up this habit. But when I take Lady for a walk up here, I'll pick up a couple rocks, or crystals. Not even crystals, just quartz rocks. Oops. Hang on to that one. Especially if they're nice round ones. Another whoop-de-doo for my Subaru. So anyway, I'll sit here and rattle some quartz on our walk. And I dug that piece out a while ago. Maybe the clacking does something in the spirit world, I don't know. But my thing is I collect them at home. And I figure the more I collect, the longer Lady gets to live. Silly superstition, but I made it up myself. And that's what I'm living by, because I gotta get 20 years out of this girl. Need her a long time. Anyway, it's a little grudges. One of my earliest trauma memories, I would call it that. I'm guessing I was 4 or 5. My younger brother was probably 2. That'd probably make me 5, but we were in Montana living in a duplex. And we had some neighbors that would babysit us every once in a while. So one night, my brother wakes me up screaming and crying. And he brings me out to the living room. And there was a picture of us, just me and my brother, little kid picture at, Penny's or Sears, whatever it was in the day. And my brother had the photos behind glass, so somebody had taken like a Sharpie or marker, and on top of my brother was a top hat, a monocle. I swear I saw money or something, that type of thing. And on my picture, I was scarred, black-eyed, and broken, and I think I had a black tooth or something like that. And the parents were not home, nowhere to be found. My younger brother's screaming, doesn't know what to do, I don't know what to do. The only thing I remembered is, let's go see the babysitters. We can trust them. Now, it took a little while. We were sitting next door for, it seemed like quite a while. And I'll never forget, I was sitting next to a record player in their collection of records, and the album facing me, I mean it's right in my face, is, I believe it's the Tijuana Brass, The Girl Coming Out of the Cake, green background, white cake. I'd just stare at that. Pretty life. Then the neighbors spent some time outside. We had to stay in the house, but the police were there. The neighbors called the police because the parents were gone and left us alone. So anyway, the story was they had gone to file taxes. It was tax night or tax day, and they had to get it in by midnight, and they figured the kids would be all right. Well, they got a good scolding by the police. And the part that always got me is my dad blamed me for it all. It was my fault that the police called on him. I should have known better. At 5 years old, I should have known better. When my younger brother's screaming and crying, no parents, and I see a picture that has him as a rich baron and me as a beat up whatever. So, you want to talk about early grudges? I was upset that I was getting blamed for it all, because I didn't do nothing. I tried to, do the right thing. Yet he's screaming at me because the police had to get involved. You had to blame others for everything. I've come to realize that. But you want to talk about holding an early grudge? Chalk that one up. How do I get over it and totally release it and just, it is what it is. I can go into more stories someday. Left lady. Maybe we can get closer to Mario today. Let you see the back of the tombstone. And yeah, I just call them tombstones. They're headstones, footstones are in the ground ones, but whatever, tombstone. It's the old-fashioned way. Hey Mario and Sillyman. See if the camera picks it up. On the back, it's Mario. Lady, no. Down here. Stay down here. We don't mess in those areas. On the back, it's Mario. And it says, "It's a me, a Mario." I thought, that's a good sense of humor. I like that. Makes me smile every day. A lot of craziness in this world, and it just seems the natural thing to hang on to it. And like I said originally, grudges, when I talked to my dad about grudges a couple years before he passed, he says, that's what gives you drive to do things and, for greatness. Grudges, that just develops hate and rationalizations for things that shouldn't happen. It's the rationalizations that we have to deal with. So our mind will rationalize all sorts of craziness in this world. Look at, lady, come on. Let's go over here. Don't mess with the people. So, grudges, rationalizations. Until you get over grudges, certain things are going to keep repeating in your life, testing you on them. And until we can finally get rid of them, the test will continue to see how you handle certain things. And if it just builds more grudges will come. More grudges will come. You just hang on to them, it becomes everything in life. I sure don't want to be one of those people. I've known several that grudges are what drove them, and they become very heartless people. Oh, what a beautiful evening. Nice cool breeze. Rain's holding off for now. I can see it in the distance up there in the foothills. Get dropped every once in a while. We'll see if we get more by the time we get back to the car. So I mentioned before that I try to study traditional indigenous training, and especially Navajo. There's one Navajo traditional teaching channel I watch a lot of Grandpa Wally, Uncle Wally. One time a while back, they were asked, how do you find out about past lives? And that's where he said, find a mature tree, go to it, touch it, meditate, and ask it to show you your past life. And even he said it may take some time, but Lucy here's the one I asked. And it took a couple weeks, but it was a very, very surprising vision. Something I never, ever would have thought of. It was so out of left field. But I'm grateful for Lucy showing me that. And it explains a lot of things in my life and things I have to deal with too. I committed suicide in my last life. Chewed up by boat propellers. I hope it didn't hurt Lucy to help me with that, but I always thank her. Thank you, Lucy. Nice cool day, not too hot. Oh, we had a big rain the other day. Probably got all the water you needed. Thank you for the help. And by the way, the reason I call her Lucy is a while back I was walking away because I just kept saying tree. And I had the distinct voice in my head go, my name's Lucy. So I've been calling her that since. This universe is so much more than this one little rock flying around the edge of one galaxy. And if we are too arrogant to think that we're the only thing, and God created all this in 6,000 years ago, I don't know. I have a tough time believing it with all the information we're getting nowadays and the vision we have. This was written when they thought the sun died at night and was born every morning. They didn't know anything. You know, thinking that the earth revolved around the sun was sacrilege and people died for it. And there are cults still believing that. That's right, I haven't in the past, but I'm just at the point they are cults at this point. The mind-washing, brainwashing people get and only the solutions that they're told from some talking clown in a pulpit. There's good ones, but there's bad ones too, real bad ones. So, my recent thing, I've been listening to the audiobooks of Carl Jung's Red Book. Oh my, is that something. This is an intelligent guy that was friends with Sigmund Freud, but when Sigmund wasn't willing to let go of everything as your mom or sexual repression issue, versus Carl Jung was looking more at a universal. I never knew what to call it until I found out how Carl Jung, we have our conscious, our subconscious, and the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is that ethereal thing out in the universe that we can connect to. And I've told people for years, I don't know how I got it. I got it before the internet because it was part of helping me make a living off the internet. Somewhere in the 80s, something got me that, so many of us in work and life or whatever, we're faced with a problem and we sit there and we can't let go of it. We're like a dog with a bone that just cannot let go of it. Something through, I don't know, maybe it was in some movie I saw or something, can't tell you exactly where it was. But someone was dealing with a very tough problem, and rather than beating themselves up on it, or about it, they let go of it. Said, send it off to the universe. It'll come back. And went on with other things. So they were making forward progress with their time and efforts and not stuck on a single problem, because there's multiple problems we all deal with. In the 80s, I did a lot of mechanics and electrical. Low voltage electrical. Somehow I got this thing, I started trying it. I'd be against something that I just wasn't clicking. It wasn't making sense. I couldn't figure out the actual issue, whatever it was. But there was other tasks to do and other things to do. So I would just say, okay, I'm letting go of this one for a while. Let me know when there's an answer. Something of that nature. And it started working. I'd be working on something else, and all of a sudden, like a slap on the back of the head, oh, here's your answer. And I'd go, and it worked, and it fixed it, and holy crap. So, Carl Jung calls that the collective consciousness, that we're all connected to, that we are all one together, connected to this collective consciousness. And boy, does that make sense to me for how I tried. So I'm going to go tonight and watch a movie with a friend of ours, another dog lover. He's late 70s. I'm my early 60s, but we were talking last night. We were watching some military thing because he was a Vietnam vet. It was kind of funny how he's the start of the boomers, I'm the end of the boomers. I always consider myself Boom X. But he was right there at the end of the war. 2 years off, but he was the start, I was the end. He's a good person. I enjoy our time together. He's far from ego driven. He's a dog that, when we used to go to the dog park all the time, and that's where I met him, at the dog park, our dogs had to be the alpha. Whoever was there first was the alpha for that time. You know, if his dog was there first, he'd be at the gate as we came in, just to snarl at Lady like, I'm the alpha. And if Lady was there first, she had to do the same. It was very cute the way they worked. And I have a ponytail a lot of times, longer hair. Thank you, Grandma, for blessing me with good hair. My first meeting with him was kind of funny. It was just him and me in the park and the two dogs running around. And Lady was off running, doing stuff, and his dog came right over to me and wanted to meet me. And petted him, and he was fine and was sticking around. And his owner, my friend, came over, and the first words out of his mouth is, well, usually we don't like long hairs, but if he's okay with you, I am too. I have always got a big chuckle out of that. Because this person, you know, really acts the part, has to act strong and tough, and they're from New York. But they're very, I won't, like I've told them to his face, I'd never call you soft, but you're a decent person. You know, he's caring and nice, but he refuses to let the guard down. But we watch movies all the time since his wife passed. His wife passed a couple years ago. They were married, what did he say, 46 years? It's like, wow. And our friend has a girlfriend. Oh, who is it again? No, I can't remember her name. There's a singer. He's been to so many of the concerts, had coffee with her at one of the concerts. He bought a VIP ticket or something. And his wife is always cool with that. You know, but he just loves this artist. It's a lady guitarist from a while back, but he just thinks she's all that, still does. And it's just cute to see. I always ask him, you know, does your wife have any problems with? No, she's fine. And talking to him, it sounds like they had a very good relationship and marriage. And I can see it with him. Again, I told him to his face the other night, and I said, the greatest thing I enjoy about our time together is you're not so ego-driven as so many in this world are. Just a very nice person. But tough New Yorker. You know, East Coast New Yorkers have to be, I guess. I don't know, stereotyping. Oh, here comes the rain. We're almost back. Just sprinkles. My time in Seattle, this is nothing. I don't even mind this. Beautiful evening. So this was kind of about grudges again, kind of about past life, kind of about assorted. Oh, I gotta do something to the titles to pull more people in. I'm just dating them, WWL, and then some topic. Only people watching so far are me, so if it's just that, it's just that. I'm thankful for my time here trying to figure this out. Try to play for the bigger game someday. I'd like to play pro someday. How's that? I like the sound of that. We're in the minor leagues here. We're trying to learn how to play pro. Oh, I gotta hang on to that one. That one's good. Takes a lot to play pro. Now, I sure hope this is recording. Not like the 2 recordings I lost. But I'll try to get out here and do this every few days. Some of this info has to get out in the world. And I'm sorry if I freak people out about bugs, but it's something that's helped me understand the vessel my spark is strapped into. Lady, you ready to go watch a movie? I don't know, we usually find something or watch something dumb on YouTube. So, try to find a way, and that was in my first video I mentioned the band Tool, the album or CD Lateralis, and the first song, The Grudge. I can't recommend the whole album. Other people have, you can look for the Holy Gift version where they've rearranged the songs into Fibonacci codes because somebody realized that the sound signatures, if done in a certain way, the whole album is Fibonacci sequence. The last song where the call in, I've listened to it a couple times, that's good enough. But Reflection is huge. Lateralis is huge. And The Grudge are huge. But it's all very holy. I take Lateralis